What's happening, everybody? I'm Mark Grote. Welcome into the Daily Score. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching on YouTube and on whichever device or whichever mode you are watching in. We certainly appreciate it. We got a treat for you today on the Daily Score, and specifically by way of the Bears starting left guard, Teven Jenkins. Recently, the Tribune's Dan Wiederer and I got a chance to sit down with big Teven Jenkins, and I suggested to Teven that it feels like the Bears have a legit offense for once, and I wondered how it felt to him.
It feels great. We have a lot of exciting pieces that we started adding on to this year. We got the number one pick. We ended up picking Caleb, of course. He's a great quarterback. Hung out with him a few times. He seems like a good dude. We had DJ last year. Was he a 1,000-yard receiver? I think he was.
Yes, he was.
Oh, yeah. And then, we got Rome coming in. He does great things. I've seen some of his film. I'm excited to see what he can do in the NFL as well. And, we still got DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson, Travis Homer. I mean, we got a lot of elite pieces we got in here in Chicago, so it should be an exciting time on offense.
So you said he hung out with Caleb a couple of times. What did you guys do? What's he like? Tell us all about him and your time with him.
So we did the pre-draft dinner. Got to know him a little bit, hung out with him, talked with him. He seemed like a great guy. He seems down to earth, like how he is as a person. And it was very easy to connect with him because just how his personality is. Like, he seems very true to himself, and I'm excited to keep on growing our relationship.
Teven, I thought it was cool of Ryan Poles to kind of include some of the core players on this team in the evaluation process of Caleb Williams at the time that he came in for his visit. And obviously you mentioned you were part of that dinner when he came in on his visit. First of all, how did you get the invitation to be part of that, and what were the marching orders when you guys headed out to Sophia Stake in Lake Forest to kind of feel out who the new quarterback might be?
Yeah, so I was in Texas. He gave me a text, "Are you gonna be in town at a certain date?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll be around this Sunday." So, all right, good. You have a dinner like Wednesday or Tuesday. I forgot what day it was. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't know. And then he later on texted like, "Yeah, it's a dinner with Caleb Williams." At Sophia Stake, yeah, like you said, and so that's how everything went about that, and I mean everything went good, so yeah.
I guess as players, how much do you appreciate just the fact that your head decision maker wants to include you to some extent to figure out, given the pride and the chemistry and the culture that you guys have built in that locker room, if this is a fit and being included in that process a little bit?
It does feel great, because I've seen him mention a few times, it is our locker room, and I'm not sure if they would have made a bigger decision of what he would have done, but it's good to be a part of, just to see the cultural significance it has on the whole locker room, because of everything we're trying to stand for as the Chicago Bears right now, and just being able to see if he was a cultural fit, and he definitely was. So, I mean, we were very excited when we got to the dinner, get to know him and everything. So
that's pretty cool, man. I mean, to be part of that core, and hopefully that portends well for your future with the Chicago Bears. And obviously, Teven, this is the final year of your rookie deal. And are you interested in having extension conversations at some point in time, or do you think this is going to be something where you're going to have to wait till the end of the season? Has there been any talk at all so far in that regard?
What have I got with from my agent? Right now there's we had to wait until after the draft is all I know, and then we're going to try to reach out to him here soon. But right now we're playing the waiting game. I want to be a Bear for a long time. I still do. That has not changed since I've been drafted, but we're going to see how things unfold and how things play out, and just take it day by day and just try to be a great leader for the O-line room and a great player for the team.
Teven, you're obviously aware both internally and in the outside world with the football community that the scouting report is when Teven plays, he can be a dominant guard. He can be a dominant offensive lineman in this league. When he's hurt, there's questions about the durability. You've obviously made changes to your routines. You've tried to change your habits in certain ways to improve that. Where are you now when you kind of consider going into your contract year and trying to answer that durability piece of the puzzle as you seek that second contract here?
Yeah, so I'm starting to spend a lot more money on my body than I have in previous years. More organic type of food, more time actually spending time on my body, waking up earlier than I used to, even though I still don't like waking up early at all. So I go in and do some tubs, get some work on my body so I can make sure I'm that 100% that I can go out there and play and practice instead of, you used to just wake up like 30 minutes before and then walk in the building and I'm good to go and everything, So I'm starting to learn more of the pieces to the puzzle to make my body more durable and more reliable for the team, and especially since we got a lot of great pieces coming up this year. So, the more consistent I could be for the team, the better we could have a chance of the playoffs and even further from that. So I'm just trying to take everything day by day and make myself better health-wise and everything by just ultimately spending more money on my body than I used to in rookie season. So.
Yeah. So your rookie season, I remember talking to you then, coming in, talking about grilling up those ribs and, eating really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking this game about organic food. Am I going to run into you at Whole Foods at some point in time? Is that what's going on in the Jenkins family now?
Without a doubt. I say, hey, we got Whole Foods, we got Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's a little iffy, but hey, we definitely going to run me in Whole Foods if I definitely get out and start shopping. My wife does most of the shopping, but, when I do once in a while, we definitely get out there.
You don't like Trader Joe's? You're more Whole Foods?
Have you tried Trader Joe's dumplings? Those things are amazing. I love Trader Joe's. Are you kidding me?
Oh, okay. I misunderstood
Trader Joe's and Trader Joe's fried rice. Get you an Asian cuisine from Trader Joe's. I'm telling you, that's like one of the top meals out right now.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Well, last year Jalen Johnson was sharing wings with us. Maybe you bring some of those dumplings into the locker room, like during training camp, or oh, actually, we won't be in the locker room during the season. Maybe you do that for us. Maybe, yeah.
Hey, if they got an oven, I can warm it up in.
This doesn't fit with your aim to be healthy, but anything inside Trader Joe's that's covered in dark chocolate is like, forget about it. They could put shoe leather in there, cover it in their dark chocolate, and I would eat it.
Hey, this is the reason why we call it a cheat day. All right, we're good. We don't worry about that.
There you go.
Okay, now you've led us into it. What's the? I know at one point in time it was the Wendy's Baconator. Have things changed on your cheat day, or is there a new what kind? Tell us about a cheat day you had during the off season.
So I was down in Texas, right? So one of my cheat days, I had Torchy's tacos. I'm not sure if you guys ever had it before.
No.
Torchy's with a T as in Tom?
Yeah, Torchy's tacos.
Okay.
You definitely got to go try it out. I wish they had one out here. And there's probably a good reason they don't have one out here for me. I got there's three little soft tacos you get. It's called Trailer Park, and you get it trashy. So take the lettuce off. They put more queso on top of the taco.
Okay.
It's to die for. And then you get a side of chips and queso.
Okay.
And that's just for lunch. And then at dinner, I'm searching around for any steakhouse that's good enough for me. Not good enough for me, but good enough to eat.
Yeah.
There's some I don't like, some I do like. So I have personal preference on some.
That's a good cheat day.
That's a really good cheat day. My only issue with Whole Foods, I like Whole Foods too. I go there, on payday usually when I've got a little extra money in my pocket. But at Whole Foods, the problem is what I've run into. You can get burned if you don't like vegetarian products. You got to be really careful because you'll come home with something that looks like meat and it's not meat. You haven't delved into the vegetarian world yet, have you, Teven?
I have not yet. No. I've been. We go in there. We strictly get fruit, vegetables, get certain meat for the week, and then we just get out. I don't think so. I don't think I've been the vegetarian route yet.
Teven, you said you were waking up earlier. I think probably some of that may be beyond your control. You became a dad in week 18. Was that New Year's Day? Am I correct on that?
Yes. She was born January 1st.
So how's fatherhood here 4 months in?
Fatherhood is great. I mean, she's been off and on with her sleep, so I'm trying to navigate that still. Me and my wife are, and she's been great. We're getting bigger. We've been above like 90 percentile in height this whole time. She's a little skinny baby. She's still around like low 50% weight, but she's just very long right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean everything's good. She's healthy. That's the thing that matters. And yeah, it's not my wake up call. It's when she wants to wake up. That's the trick right now.
If you need a sitter during the season, is Grote capable of handling that role for you?
And
why are you laughing?
Man, Grote, hey, Grote, I love you, but no.
Come on, man. Have I not shown enough responsibility out at Haugh Hall?
Oh, no.
My nieces and nephews like me, so I don't know, man. I would absolutely do that for you. $5 an hour, too.
$5, that's a steal.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Man, I think I'm good, Grote. I appreciate it.
All right. We're talking to Teven Jenkins. Always a pleasure to talk to the Chicago Bears starting left guard. Dan Wiederer is here. I am Mark Grote. Tyler Buterbaugh is producing the show here on Chicago Sports Radio 674. Just a couple more things for you, Teven. Look, it was an emotional, that's the word that's coming to my brain right now when it comes to Justin Fields, like an emotionally charged 3 years for Justin Fields with the Chicago Bears. I know how much you supported him just in the many conversations that you had with all of us out at Haugh Hall. What did you think about, his time here and how it sort of ended with Justin Fields and where he is now in Pittsburgh?
I'm a diehard Justin Fields fan. I hope he does amazing over there in Pittsburgh and hope his situation works out great. And, I mean, yeah, when the trade did happen, I was at a Dallas Stars game, a hockey game, and then Flus called me, let him know what was happening, and I was like, it was a little gut check for a little bit, but, it's the state of the business, and I just had to keep going on for me and my family, really, and not get too hung up on the emotional side of it and understand it's the business side of it. So I understood that they did the best for him in his situation, so it did help me, on the emotional side, to understand why they did that and how they did it as well. And then I reached out to Justin, texted him. As I said, I hope you start dominating the league, and have a great year and can prove yourself over there in Pittsburgh, So I was just I'm a huge Justin Fields supporter, and I always will because, we're in the same draft class. I was drafted behind him to protect him, so it was a big deal for me.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Does he seem like he's okay?
Yeah. When the few times I reached out to him, yeah, he seems like he's good.
Okay, because he was very popular here. I mean, you remember fans chanting his name that last game. I think it was the last game, right, Dan? At Soldier
second
Field?
to the last home game.
Oh yeah, it's the last home game.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I say he was so popular. He has so much support in town. Now, some of that has been quelled by the fact that you have Caleb Williams coming in. But was there a part of you that while this was all going on and we're all talking about Caleb Williams before Justin Fields had even left, where you were like, what's going on here? Why are they talking about Caleb Williams? And did you feel like, I know you love Caleb Williams, I know that you've hung out with him, but was there a little bit of that resentment, in terms of Justin Fields and the Bears going a different direction?
I'd say I didn't feel any resentment. It's, like you said earlier, before we started all this talks, it's just I'm in tune with what's going on the outside as well, on X, Instagram, all that. So I had a further understanding about what's going on, and all the rumors and stuff. So, I wasn't being naive to the situation. So it didn't really affect me as much because I knew of the talks that was happening. So I didn't really have any resentment towards the situation at all.
Teven, there seems to be some great optimism for what's building up front on the offensive line. You guys obviously experienced that last year. You watched Darnell Wright come in and do his thing on the right side. A two-parted question here. What gives you the most enthusiasm about what you guys have going on up front, and in those stretches where you and Darnell got to play side by side and seemed to create a pretty dominant tandem over there? Would that be some place you'd like to make a home and be beside him more permanently if given the option?
Well, I've always told Poles, I had conversations with Poles, and I've always told him, hey, wherever you need me, best five, I'll go. Left guard, right tackle, all that. But, I say right now, let's make this a really good offensive line is Darnell at right, Nate at right guard. We're still having position battles at center, me at left guard, and Braxton at left tackle right now. And I feel like that's how we're going to do this offseason right now, and that's a great line right now to attack this whole offseason.
It's been quite an adventure for you to get to where you are. And I know it was a big adjustment for you to go inside, but now it feels like it's I hate to say this, but it's almost like where you were meant to be. Do you allow yourself to feel that way, or is there still that part of you that's thinking, man, I was a tackle in college and that's what I thought I was going to be?
Yeah, I definitely did think I was going to be a tackle in college, and then, maybe I slowed down a little bit from the back surgery or something, and I could still do emergency tackle. Like, without doubt, I feel like I can do emergency tackle if something bad happens in the game. If I need to slide out, I could do it in pinch. But I feel like right now my home is really at guard, and no matter what side it is, I feel like I could be, one of the top guards in the NFL.
Nice. A couple more here. Torrey Taylor, you guys drafted a punter in the fourth round, man. Everybody's got an opinion on it. It sounds like this guy could be quite a show as a punter. What did you think about that?
I was surprised. I didn't do any. I have no business in my department doing scouting right now. But I wasn't doing any scouting at all. I was surprised when we drafted a punter in the fourth round. I was like, oh wow. So once I started looking at the yardage and his highlights and everything, I was like, oh, this dude could be a dangerous weapon for us, because then we could pin him back on the 5s, the 2, and the way our defense has been lately. I mean, they're going to shut him down within a matter of 10 yards, and then he's going to try to punt it back to us with a short field, and then we're going to have the easy score right there. So I mean, I'm excited to see what he can do, and just seeing off his film and all of his stats that he did, I'm excited to work with him as well.
I'm stunned to hear that you didn't spend any of your offseason grinding punter tape, trying to help out in that regard.
The Bears also drafted Karan Amagaji out of Yale in the third round. Looks like he might be a swing tackle for the team, but he's a Yale guy. I think Dieter Iceland was a Yale guy. But before Amagaji comes into the locker room, who right now is the most intelligent, book-smart person in that locker room other than you?
Other than me, I ain't book smart. All right.
You're not? You look, man. You put those glasses on. Weren't you an engineering major?
You can check my grades. I don't know.
Okay, well, hey, Peter, get the transcript for Teven here with his grades. But who is the most book smart guy in that locker room right now?
I would have to say probably Bill Murray. Isn't that the Bill Murray you're thinking about?
No. Bill Murray, offensive lineman.
Yeah, practice squad lineman.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Bill Murray, huh?
I'm telling you, I very smart guy, I'm telling you.
Okay. Best thing you did so far this offseason?
You said the best thing?
Yeah.
Dang, what did I do?
I mean, I understand you have a child now, so it's probably pretty difficult.
Most of my time goes to, I can say my best thing is her. I was trying to think about different things for you guys, but, literally my best thing this whole offseason has been just trying to be a dad, and take care of her, and just learning and seeing how much she's starting to develop, her mental as well, and just trying to understand what she needs from me, because if it's not every 2-3 hours, she wants a feeding or something, it's a diaper change, and I'm just trying to figure out just everything in between.
buckle in. It's a ride that's gonna be a good one for a long time. It's always fun.
Yeah, I'll let you go, man. I'm sorry we kept you a little bit longer than I had said, but it's always good to talk to you. And I'm being told by our program director, Ryan Port, this is the text that I just got, Torchy's Tacos is legit,
well,
he says.
Just to follow up on that, there is several locations in Houston. The Bears play in Houston this year, so I'm ready to that. Yeah. The closest one to here is in Fishers, Indiana, 3-hour drive if you ever get a craving that makes you jump in the car and roll down towards Indy.
I'm good. No 3 hours, no.
Freaking a big old bag of tacos. Teven, you're the best, man. Thanks for coming on with us. Hopefully we could do it again soon, and give your daughter a big hug for us, all right?
I appreciate you guys, and we'll do.
That's the Bears starting left guard, Teven Jenkins. I hope you enjoyed that. Great personality of Teven Jenkins, but some serious stuff as well. I thought one of the biggest takeaways out of that whole thing is the fact that Teven Jenkins went from this guy who, when Ryan Poles took over a couple of years back, it didn't feel like Teven Jenkins had staying power because Braxton Jones was his guy. It just all of a sudden didn't feel like there was a place for Teven Jenkins, or maybe a lack of trust or something. Something was going wrong, but he has gone from that to now becoming, a key figure on the inside for the Bears. And he's part of this pre-draft dinner that they had with Caleb Williams. I think that's huge that Ryan Poles has the trust. He looks at him as a part of the core. Obviously, he is going to be playing an extremely important part in blocking for Caleb Williams and protecting him to some degree. So it's a real change for Teven Jenkins in terms of the way I think a lot of us perceived his future with the Chicago Bears, as David Catt makes an appearance here on the show today. And as far as that's concerned, like his future with the team, I don't expect that Ryan Poles is going to get anything done early with Teven Jenkins because I think he obviously likes Teven Jenkins, and that's why he's still on the team, and that's why he was at that dinner. But I do think that there's a little bit more show me. Let's show me that you're going to be healthy this year. If you miss a game or two or three even, that's pretty standard in the NFL. As long as he can show that he is healthy and continuing to just be really good at left guard, I do think that they'll get some sort of contract extension done. I personally don't expect them to get this done, quickly or early or anything like that. Who knows? But I think that my guess is Teven Jenkins might have to sweat this one out a little bit. Not that he doesn't like him, but just because, Ryan Poles has got a seat, and Ryan Poles has shown that he's got a pretty good eye for offensive linemen. It's good to hear from Teven Jenkins that he wants to be a Bear, and I know that's what they all say, like when guys are up for contracts, but that it's like an essential part of it. Okay, we've got to hear that part where you want to be a Bear for a long time, and he does. And I also like the fact that I don't know that I'd have to go back and listen to Teven Jenkins in our interviews, but I don't know if I ever heard him talking much about wanting to be a leader, and I think that takes time, obviously, and experience. And just depending on who's in that locker room, I don't know that his time has been there yet to be the leader. But, he's in his fourth year, man. This is a veteran player at this point who knows how the Bears do business. So the idea of him being a leader is absolutely intriguing. Obviously, sticking up for Justin Fields, saying that he's a diehard fan of him. The other part, too, though, about that whole thing, what stuck out to me was not that he's sticking up for Justin Fields because I expected him to, but that Matt Eberflus called him. Hey, here's what we're doing, big guy. We are, he's sitting there at the Dallas Stars game, as he said, because that's where he lives. And he gets a call from Flus and tells him what was going on with Justin Fields. And I'm sure Flus called a lot of the players. And, I'm sure that Teven Jenkins is not necessarily the guy that he's only going to, but it's important to know. So it just really feels like Teven Jenkins, based on our talk with him now, that he's really locked in. And then just also symbolic of the fact that he has come so far in terms of like rumors that he wanted to be traded and all, which he debunked, by the way. But it got messy for a little while with Teven Jenkins. But the fact that he's like telling Poles that he'll play wherever he wants him to, at left guard, he could still play some tackle if he needs him, wherever he wants him. he's just throwing that out there. So that's coming a long way from a guy who thought he was going to be a tackle at one point in time. And he did say, he said he could be an emergency tackle, but his home is at guard. So I think that those are some of the really big takeaways from that interview with Teven Jenkins. Got a long time before the actual season begins. I understand it's all happy right now, but I thought that was about as encouraging of a talk, like in terms of the maturity that I've had or that we've had with Teven Jenkins in a long time. And shout out to Dan Wiederer, also asked some terrific questions during that interview. We had a really fun show that night, as a matter of fact. I enjoyed working with Dan Wiederer, host of the Take the North podcast, with another guy I really like, David Haugh. And finally, I got to try Torchy's, I guess. I had never heard of Torchy's tacos, but I guess it's time to find, like, if I'm in a proper state. I don't know how much I'll be traveling this year, but if I do get to go to the Houston game, Torchy's is definitely going to be my first stop. So shout out to Teven Jenkins for coming up with that for us. I hope you enjoyed the Teven Jenkins interview. For our executive producer, Ray Diaz, I'm Mark Grote. Thanks for listening to the Daily Score.